what this video basically is me talking about Harry Potter whilst coloring. Now, I used to be quite the Potterhead back in the day. Not anymore, but I still have a few random yet burning questions, such as, did really no one enjoy Care for Magical Creatures? I mean, I get it. Hagrid, he was not the best teacher at first, but the important thing there was, at first, he was new to it. He needed time to learn. And yeah, there was that accident the first day, but that's what happens when you don't follow the instructions. My mom's a teacher. I've heard plenty of stories, and I've heard plenty of things go wrong to students who do not follow the directions. And that's not the teacher's fault. That is the idiotic student. And I get it. After the day with the hippogriffs, which may have been a bit much at first, Hagrid, he didn't really do anything interesting after. But the man was in the middle of a lawsuit. So what could he do? Now, I'm not here to say that Hagrid is or is not a bad teacher. I'm just saying there's no one who even liked the class. Like, I've had classes who have been taught by teachers who I just absolutely hated, but I still enjoyed the class. And you're telling me that there's no, like, wizard version of a horse girl, or there's no kid who's, like, really into, like, dragons or other magical creatures. You're not telling me? You're telling me that there's not that in Harry's class or any of the classes above or below him? There's just not? I mean, the series takes place in the 90s, and that's, like, the height of Steve Irwin and all those other nature shows that we watched as children. And you're telling me there's not one wizard kid or muggle-born kid who likes Care for Magical Creatures? There's not one. I find it weird, because again, Hagrid, he was not the best. I love Hagrid, but in the beginning, he was not the best. But again, you have to give teachers that time to find their way in teaching. Also, that year where no one in Harry's grade took Care for Magical Creatures, there wasn't a single one of them who needed it as, like, a credit for their future careers and or classes. Like, no one needed it. I just find that to be a little weird. I mean, we don't have, like, the exact number of kids in Harry's, like, grade, but, I mean, you could probably go back to the first book, count up all the names, but my book's all the way over there, and I'm here. It just seems weird to me that there's, like, no one in the entirety of Hogwarts who seems to enjoy the class of Care for Magical Creatures. My next question that I have is, do they teach any basic, like, muggle classes at Hogwarts? Like, I'm not science. They wouldn't teach science because I feel like that goes literally against magic, and that's like a whole nother thing. But they don't teach math. Like, I get it. They don't need, like, calculus. I doubt any wizards are going to need calculus, but are they just supposed to be taught that by their parents? I mean, some of these people are going to go on to be shopkeepers, or they need to do wizard taxes. I have to imagine wizards have taxes. They need to know basic skills like that. And is there no wizard literature classes? Well, I don't think there was a wizard literature class, but there was, like, history of magic. They had a history class. Why didn't they have, like, an English class? Or a health class? Because, like, I get it's a joke about how do the wizard kids learn sex ed. But, like, they don't have that. or a home ec class. Like, they don't, like, have a class that teaches kids how to do, like, cooking spells or spells that teach them how to do laundry or things like that. There's just nothing for those other skills they need. There's nothing. My third question I have is, how is Harry not, like, mentally screwed up? I mean, he is a little bit, but, like, when Hagrid comes to get him, Harry should not be a functioning human due to the amount of abuse and lack of care that he's received, because I took a psychology class. And let me tell you, you can look at nurture and nature however you want, but nurture, I will say, is very important. Love and comfort, they're extremely important and vital to how you turn out as a person, especially to young children. That's going to really shape how they turn out. And ever since Harry was 1 year old, he has been neglected and abused and forced to watch his cousin get all the attention and love in the world, and have his aunt and uncle emotionally abuse him, physically abuse him, starve him, put him in a room. It's not even a room. The cover board under the stairs, it's a cover board. Harry was incredibly abused, and he's just walking around like, I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't have baggage in the books. There's just, like, not as much as he should in actuality, because Harry was abused, like, a lot, and I'm amazed that didn't impact his mental state more. And this leads to my next question. Why did the Dursleys frickin' keep Harry? Like, they obviously did not like him. They did not want to keep him. But why did they do it? I mean, we get why Dumbledore sent his very stupid reason for sending Harry to live with the Dursleys, other than the fact that they are his only blood relatives. But, like, they wouldn't have cared. We're shown that Petunia did not enjoy Lily at all, so why would she say yes to keeping her child, to raising a wizard with her normal child? Why would she agree to that? How would she get her husband to agree to that? Why would they just do it? Why wouldn't they have tried to abandon Harry? I mean, they could have tried, or they could have had someone come to their house and threaten them, but we never see and or hear about that. So we're just left to guess why did they keep Harry? They obviously did not want him around. I mean, I believe that if the Dursleys were decent human beings, they could afford to take care of Harry at any point in time. They obviously just put him under the cover board and made him wear Dudley's hand-me-downs because they're sucky people. But if they really didn't want to put up with Harry, and they didn't give a flip about, like, the magic barriers, or his life, or safety, or well-being, why'd they keep him? I mean, maybe there's guilt on Petunia's end about him staying. I guess now that I think about it, there is that howler that I think happens in the 5th book that she gets. So maybe that's why. But it just seems weird to me. My next question has to do with good old Sirius Black. Good old Padfoot. I loved Sirius. He was one of my favorite characters. I really enjoy him. How was he found guilty? I mean, I get it. Peter Pettigrew, he framed him and all that stuff, but There's no they have truth potion. They have that. We've seen it. Why didn't he ask during his trial, hey, if you want to see me tell the truth, give me that. I'll tell you what really happened. Why didn't he do that? Why isn't that used in every wizard trial where the person isn't a minor? Because I can see why it's like unlawful to use it on a minor, but every adult, why don't they use that? They have it. And like in the book, when he was captured again, why didn't Hermione, who knows about advanced potions and stuff, she made Polyjuice potion in her second year. Why didn't she just, hey, you think I'm lying about Sirius Black being innocent? Give me this truth potion I will willingly take to convince you that he's not a criminal. What? Why? Why did any of that happen? Why did any of that happen? I get it, like, sometimes as a writer, you come up with stuff and ideas later on after you've established plot points. But it's just so interwoven, and I guess Rowling didn't give it that much thought, but it still bugs me. Also, I love Remus Lupin. I love him so much. He is great. We stand him, but did he really believe that Sirius Black betrayed Lily and Did he really think that for 12 years? That's what you're telling me? No. Those four, like, screw Wormtail, he doesn't count, but those guys were the closest group of friends ever, apparently. And you're telling me he didn't think that one of his best friends may have been framed? Even if it wasn't by Wormtail. I'm getting angry. I am getting so angry. Also, why Snape given as many chances? I get it. I shouldn't be arguing about Snape out of all the myriad of other mistakes that exist, but like, why is... I hate Snape. I don't like him in the books or in the movies. He sucks in every single media. Like, he's not good. I don't care if, like, he was working for Dumbledore or was being, like, a double agent. I don't care about that. I don't, because what were his reasons for doing so? He wanted to bang Lily. That's the only reason he did any of it. If, like, Lily wasn't in trouble or wasn't gonna die, he would have still remained a Death Eater. He chose to be a Death Eater. Like, the heck, my dude. And I get it. He didn't have to like Harry. He didn't have to necessarily be nice to him. But that doesn't mean he gets to be a total jerk to him. And Neville, his treatment of Neville, I swear to all that is good. The only reason Snape was I'm trying not to cuss. The only reason Snape was such a terrible person to him is because there was like a 40% chance that the Chosen One was meant to be Neville, and he tortures and is angry and hateful towards this child because he thinks that Neville's parents should have died instead of Lily, or there could be a chance of that. Why do people like Snape? It's not okay. It's not okay. You can like who you like. I'm ranting. This is my opinion. But I don't know, man. Snape, he freaking sucks.